a bet went wrong and someone won when they weren't supposed to. They just walked in the ring with a 9mm and shot him in the head. Shot the ref. That was it. Done. Do you know what I mean? Got arrested and that. Yeah. Everyone's got like the little click and that. Like for every category, you can pick 2 people out who's like the poster boy for them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And obviously I'm not it for 70 key. I was 82.5 on the Monday and I weighed in at bang on 70 on the Friday morning. Yeah.
Hello and welcome to the Last Round Podcast. I'm your host Dan Saunders. Joining me as always my co-host Anton Austin. We're in Stockton-on-Tees at Contender Gym to speak with UK number 1 Jack Cooper. Thank you for having us down, mate.
No bother.
So what made you get into Muay Thai? Because you went to Thailand at a really young age, didn't you?
Just short of being 15, yeah. A few lads from the gym were going for going for 6 and 12 month spells. So they just said to our dad, "Do you fancy coming over?" Like it was only me and my dad living together. So so that obviously spurred him on a bit, and we went over. I just dropped out of school, sort of. I come back and done my GCSEs and that. Right. But yeah, just went straight over. I think he had 3 months down in Phuket at Simbi. Come home with my dad. And my dad, obviously, he'd love Thailand and he'd fit in. So it was like, oh, we're going back, do you know what I mean? Do you want to go and live in Thailand? So I just agreed and that was it, we went.
Did your dad do a bit of training himself?
Yeah, in a fashion. He had pads every day. He wasn't into fighting on outdoor.
It's mad going for that long of a spell at such a young age.
Still 3 months, isn't it? Still a long time.
Yeah,
average holiday.
Yeah, madness.
Yeah.
Even at our age though, people sometimes only go for a month or something.
Yeah.
So when you're saying your mates are going for 12 months and that's Jesus.
Big leaps on it. Yeah.
What was the lifestyle change like with the food and stuff like that? And
to be honest, just with us being a kid, I didn't venture that much with the food and that, with the scran. I wasn't mad into the chilies or none of the gammy fish on out like that, you know what I mean? But I ate Thai food every day, just pretty much chicken fried rice twice a day. That was it. That was it, man.
Did you have any have you had any mad experiences while you've been over in Thailand?
In Thailand, a few. I'm trying to think what's nice enough to say. Yeah. Obviously, it's like the Wild West. It's like money talks. So it's a little bit mad. Just like everyday life, we're going out on the ped on the motorbike, no license, no helmet, no now, just a pair of flip flops and shorts, and the police are just flag you down and that. 500 baht, 300 baht, it was 6 or 10 quid. Yeah. And you just pay them. They'll give you a 24-hour receipt in case they pulled you on the way home, and that was it. You're off. Yeah, it's mad.
What about in gyms and stuff like that? Anything ever happen in a gym where I don't know I guess you would have been a sponsored fighter.
Yeah.
Any mad stories while you were fighting over there, or
in the gym? We once had I don't know what they call it. Yeah, a pack of American pit bulls, but fully grown, 60, 70 key. Yeah. Break loose on the estate on the complex, and obviously all the boxing gyms and that, they have cats and dogs, to keep all the if a snake comes, all the dogs go divvy and that and alert you. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, they come in and they got hold of all the gym dogs, all these pit bulls, fucking ramping them about and that. Yeah, all the Thais were out with machetes and that, man, screaming. It was 1 o'clock in the morning. Do you know what I mean? Shit. Sketchy.
Pit bulls shitting me up as it
is. I remember when I was staying at a gym a few years ago and just hearing the dogs barking in the middle of the night.
Yeah, howling.
You can hear, howling, you can hear stuff, and it's shit.
Running around in packs of 10 and that, proper fighting, just in the middle of the street. It's just weird.
Because you were a sponsored fighter, how did it work? Did you get paid a certain amount, while you were over there? Or?
So when I first went out, I went to Simbi as a paying customer. I was there for short of 2 years. I only had 2 fights for Simbi. And that was in my first 8 weeks, and then obviously I was discovering the beach and all that carry on. And I was 15 and I was allowed in nightclubs, so do you know what I mean? So it was everything was new. And then Kin phoned me, who was teaching in the UK. We had him up at Teesside Thai with Mick Robb. He was over here for a couple of years, I think, doing seminars up and down. He'd done one everywhere, every gym. And he was opening a gym in Hua Hin, which was a couple hours east of Bangkok, on the sea coast. Right. So it was nice as well, do you know what I mean? And I was down in Simbi and he phones us. He said, "Do you want to come up, be the first fighter?" I was like, "Oh yeah, sound." Like obviously I'd had a lot of time with him in Stockton because he was based here while he was doing his bit of seminars and that.
Right, okay.
So when we moved down, our dad bought like a Thai style restaurant next door to the gym. They boarded onto it.
Right.
And he opened like a little motorbike hire and that, and a laundry. So everyone who come, we clock for the bike and the laundry, and obviously the food.
Yeah.
So like, it was very communal. So like, I was already living in the gym because it had accommodation as well in the restaurant. Do you know what I mean?
Wicked.
So I kept my full purse. I didn't have to split half, so I know like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Get you.
That's good,
quite
that.
often, like usually 50
Yeah.
like that. Okay.
I heard a story about, I was wondering if you have heard anything like this. Someone was fighting in Thailand and like, because of the betting, they were kind of told not to knock anybody out or anything, you know, like because of the betting. And then they did knock someone out, and then like, Dana was fuming after it because, you know what I mean?
Yeah, betting's like I said, even just about the police and that, money talks in Thailand, like to an extent that you'd never believed. You know what I mean? Like if you get yourself on Google and that, you'll see in the golden era in the 90s there was that much money involved with the mafia and all the betting and the fighting. That a bet went wrong and someone won when they weren't supposed to. They just walked in the ring with a 9mm and shot him in the head. Shot the ref. That was it. Done. Do you know what I mean? Got arrested and that. Yeah. Like, and that's how big the gambling is. I fought before. I can't even remember his name. I fought a Thai bloke. Lost first round, second round, won the third, won the fourth. Coming out of the fifth, like that, bell went, touched gloves, landed a knee. Bell went. That was it. They just waved the fight off, waved the fifth round off, give him the decision.
Give him?
Yeah, and everyone was like, "Oh, there's too much money in the gambling and that. Too much money. Like, what can you do?"
Wow.
I was like, "Oh yeah, sound." Do you know what I mean? Another.
So what was your gym like? Or how did they explain it to you after the fight, or did you just?
It was in Bangla, down in Phuket,
Right.
and the gyms down there, the big commercial gyms such as like Simbi and Tiger and that, like not to slate them on now, but they've got like they've got full reign of the matchups and everything. Do you know? Yeah. It's like it's a bit mad, but but same again, you can't do nothing about it. So just on to the next.
Crazy.
That's annoying, that though. Like, were you pissed off after it?
Yeah, but like the Thais and that, like they've got like very smooth tongues to talk to you and that. They're like, "Oh, we seen how you fought, and there'll be opportunities from it and this and that." So like it's like obviously it is about winning and losing, but it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, I think they have that kind of perspective on things, don't they? It's not the end of the world over there. As you know,
Yeah,
if you
that's
lose a
it,
fight,
innit?
it's like on to the next one. They fight so often.
Yeah.
Did you have much pressure on you when you was over there and you was a sponsored fighter to win? And
Yeah,
you know,
very much so. But the pressure that I never had that a lot of lads do is the gym that I was at, Paul Pramin with Kin.
yeah,
He wouldn't gamble on the lads, his own.
right.
So like you never had the pressure where like I've been around it loads with the lads from other gyms and that in Thailand, because obviously like there's not many British people about, so when there is, you dash about and you knock about together and that, you know what I mean? And like I don't know, it's hard to explain.
Yeah.
So that was my next question really. Like, when you're over there, do you see many foreigners, or is it quite like Thai heavy?
Yeah, not that many, and especially with the gym being new. So like you could like, for example, I don't know if it's true, like I could go to Tiger and like I could say, "Oh, I'm UK number one, this and that, like I want to fight in Lumpini," and like they'd pretty much just be like, "Oh yeah, no, that looks pretty legit," and that straight away you're in Lumpini on the weekend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas like at other gyms, like you're fighting and you're progressing and you're doing this and you're doing that, and it's like we seem to go the long way around everything. But obviously it's nice. I fought on a lot of shows which were like temple shows, like the temples over there, like Buddhist, obviously, like they're into the boxing in a big way.
Yeah.
Like you'll go up, there'll be like the big monasteries and that and all the carry on, and they'll put like a full event on just for boxing.
Right.
All the monks will be there, all sat in the gear and that, all lined up outside the ring with all the judges and that. It's mint.
Right.
And like obviously it's somewhere in the middle of fields and that, like what you see with the Lethway shows and that, a bit like that. Yeah. I'll have had like 30 fights like that.
Right.
Having had a lot of fights over there, do you recommend it to like other UK guys? You know, it's something they should experience.
Yeah, definitely.
Like young inspiring fighters, would you say it's beneficial to go to Thailand?
Yeah. Like over here and that, like for the young uns, the age group when you fall off the wagon, it's like 14, 15 when you're going out, you're having a beer in the park and that. Obviously start carrying on with birds and all that carry on.
Yeah.
And you see them when you get like 16 and the chin pads off, you see them start drifting, and then 18's elbows, and they're like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then obviously they've got the stress of school. You've got to stay in school and do college now till you're 18, which is a bit, do you know what I mean? And then you've got to go and find graft, you've got your bills to pay. When you're in Thailand, you wake up in the morning, you hit pads, you're done. And until night time when you hit pads again, do you know what I mean?
I think you would have been a lot different, you know, had you not gone to Thailand.
Yeah.
You'd still be fighting now.
I hope so. I'd say that I would be, but it's hard to guess.
Yeah.
You're currently a UK number one. You know, you've beat some really good domestic opponents. Do you feel like you get the recognition that you deserve in the UK?
Yeah, in a fashion. I think everyone's got like the little click on that. Like for every category, you can pick 2 people out who's like the poster boy for them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And obviously, I'm not it for 70 key, but that's all right. It'll come. Time will come.
Yeah.
So you don't think or you don't think?
No, not really.
Yeah.
So
what's the community like of Muay Thai? Obviously here now in Stockton-on-Tees. What's it like round here? Is it?
There's not much about.
Not much.
We're very like K1 based, which is all right, but it's not what I'm into. So it's a bit of a carry on. But
have you ever had a K1 fight or anything, or kickboxing fight?
yeah, I've had one K1 fight, and I fought for a British belt at 70 key, and I fought William Goldie.
Yeah.
And I won, so that was sound.
Nice.
Suggy's gym, isn't it?
Yeah.
He was in glory.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, good fighter.
That's funny, because I remember when we were talking to Paul Carpich, and he was saying that he had like one K1 fight and fought for a title straight away as well.
No, he fought for the number 1 spot.
Oh, is that what it was?
Did he?
But
Yeah.
then he didn't get offered anything else after.
Oh, yeah.
So. Do you think that plays a big part on it? Obviously not. You know, we talked about not really getting the recognition you deserve for being a number 1. Do you think it's just where you're based? So, for example, if you're based in London or Manchester or...
Yeah, maybe he's aye. And like people like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, past the individuals, like gyms have got their own cliques and that as well. Do you know what I mean? So like you could have a kid walk into a gym who's never done it before. It pads a little bit hard, and in 6 months' time they could hype him up to bits. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely. Yeah, I understand that.
So when you became number 1, did you feel like anything changed? Like, did your purses get better or anything like that, or is it just?
Yeah, they ask for a bit more coin than that when I fight now. But like I took the number 1 spot. It was a bit gay. Like I didn't fight Liam for it. Like Liam was out of action for 12 months. Liam Nolan. So I got put up for the spot. So it's like it's
You wanted to win it by obviously.
Yeah. Obviously that'd have been nicer.
Be a good fight.
Yeah.
Be a good fight.
I'd be happy to fight Liam.
A lot of people put like a lot into the rankings in terms of like they look at it and say, right, I want to fight him, so I can move up to there, move up to there.
Yeah.
Like, what are your thoughts on the rankings? Like, we have had other people on who kind of don't really pay it any mind and just fight like whoever they want to fight.
Yeah.
Where do you kind of stand in between that?
Like you can obviously measure like people's ability and that, and you can make a top 10.
Yeah.
But like I don't know. It's only legit as it's not that legit. I don't think all the top 10 in the rankings and that. Like for every one of ours. And the same for the WBC World Rankings. Yeah. For every white kid in the rankings, there's 1,000 Thais at that weight in Thailand who don't even fight in the stadiums that'd beat them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was looking at the WBC, and there is just like the top 10 is pretty much all Thais, isn't it?
Yeah.
A lot of them you never even heard of either. It's just like, well, who the fuck's he?
And then you've got the millions of Thais that don't even get the opportunity. Like we're talking about the opportunity in England. Yeah. In Thailand, there's that many people doing it. It's even less. Do you know what I mean?
Hidden gems.
Yeah, it's madness.
I think the tough thing about the rankings is that you could get someone like, I think there's a few number 1s out there. I'm not really going to name names, but like they're not active at all, but they're still like number 1.
Yeah, and they're still keeping it.
At what point does it get changed? You know what I mean? And they just get took out completely if they're not active.
It's meant to be 12 months, I think, but I can't say that's true. I'm not too sure on it.
I don't know.
I think it is 12 months. Aye.
Did anything change as in like sponsors and stuff like that? I know we often speak to people about the lack of sponsors for fighters, but when you come number 1, was you like, oh, you know, this brand wants to sort it
Not
out,
so much with the sponsors and that at the minute. I haven't.
Not really.
I haven't done out like as for getting like a pair of gloves or something like that. Like, I can just buy a pair of gloves and then I'm still my own man. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so it's I don't know.
Like I said, you probably want more. You know,
if someone was like, "There's a fucking 400 quid a week,"
yeah,
do you know,
yeah,
300 quid a month or something, do you know what I mean? That'd be sound. But as just for the odd bits of gear and that, it's a bit. I haven't got none anyway, so.
Yeah.
Do you work alongside like fighting, or is this like do you train other people? While what's kind of like your full-time job, if you get me?
Yeah, so just doing PTs, PTs near down at Contender Gym, and then fighting. That's about it.
So you wasn't training under Richard Cadden at
Yeah,
one
over at Chalk D. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this fight will be my first one for Craig up at Northern Kings.
Right, so Northern Kings now. Yeah, 'cause I've seen you sparring down
Yeah,
there.
aye.
Good gym. How was it training under Richard Cadden? You know.
Yeah, it was nice. It was good as well.
Yeah.
He's a nice bloke, Rich. Yeah. It was everything went smooth anyway. I was winning my fights.
What's it like since you've obviously transferred to Northern Kings? What's it like down there?
It's
Anything different or
he's just obviously Craig's got more lads that are like
competitive?
yeah. Even A class. Do you know what I mean? He's
Right.
got like a good handful of A class fighters, and I'm the smallest one, so it's
Right,
nice. Do you know what I mean? Whereas like
Yeah.
whereas when I was up at Rich's, it was
You'd
like there was big K.
Right.
It was like 120 key,
Yeah.
which it's mint. Do you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
like if he went to stick it on us, obviously he'd punch me head in.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's always just like it was good though. It was good. I did enjoy my time at Rich's.
Your next fight's coming up in a couple of weeks on Victory. How's your camp been so far?
Trained hard. To be honest, I've trained harder than I usually do, so
Right.
it can only be good things.
Yeah.
Is that just because of how long you've had out?
Yeah, I had a long time out, and then obviously with having the time out and first fight for Craig, he's pushing us and on my
Yeah,
case to
yeah.
be down, training, sparring, strength and con.
What's the structure of the Victory show? Like, is it still like the normal kind of purses, or is it completely different now because of like no crowd?
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to talk
Yeah,
about
yeah.
that. Has anyone else spoke about it on the Victory
I'm
fight?
not sure.
not sure, yeah.
I know that like everyone's pushing like the stream, so I'm presuming that it must be something to do with the stream.
Some are pay-per-view and some are purses as normal.
Right,
Yeah.
Okay.
Aye.
Yeah, it's a really stacked card, isn't it?
Yeah,
Some good
yeah.
Fights.
Yeah,
Looking
really
forward
good.
to seeing that.
But same again. Everyone's in it for the love anyway.
Yeah,
Do
yeah.
you know what I mean? So.
You worried about any sort of like ring rust or anything like that? Is this the longest time you've been inactive?
No.
Right, okay.
It's only a year.
Yeah.
It'll be all right. Like when I talk about my record, and this will be my 60th fight.
Right.
Like that's all A class.
Yeah. It's mad because
Yeah,
sorry to
yeah.
interrupt you, I remember chatting to him at Muay Thai Grand Prix,
Yeah.
and I was like, yeah, I've had 8 fights. Well, if you had an sure he said 55 or something.
Yeah, yeah.
55. He was like, yeah. I was like, all A class. I was like, mad.
It's a big experience. So
It's
like,
not mad compared to Thailand.
That's
but
it,
in the
innit?
UK, there's
Aye.
not 55 A class fights. It's a lot of fights.
and then obviously how they've got it now with the health and safety. Like when I was a kid, when I was like 11 and 12 and that, you turned up to your fight Thai boxing, and obviously you got your little bit of ego and that, and you're swagging about,
Yeah.
and they go, "Do you want to fight with shin pads, son?" And you go, "No. Do you want to fight with the head guard?" No. And they'll ask him, and if he said the same, you didn't use him.
Right.
So it was like C-class fights for
Yeah,
kids. And then they crippled the full Muay Thai circuit with that baby fight club on Channel 4. Have you seen that?
I've not seen it.
Oh, ruthless, man.
Right.
Ruthless. They just put it in a bad light, and then that was when all the body shields come out, no head shots, all the nonsense.
Right.
Which obviously kids
Yeah,
have to
yeah.
be protected and
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? But
I guess what you're saying before about like ring rust as well. The thing is that everyone's in the same boat, aren't they? Because everyone's
That's
like,
it,
had,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
at least a year out. Like the
Yeah,
last
yeah.
event was that Yakao last March.
and I
wasn't
fought
it,
on
really?
that, so I think that was the last one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not too bad.
Yeah.
Was that one? Did you fight Josh Hill on that one?
I
or
fought
was that-
Josh Hill, yeah.
We spoke to Josh Hill, didn't we?
Well, yeah, you talked about that fight. Did you have an injury for that fight?
I just cut a lot of weight, like stupidly. Like on I blame my scales being out at home. I don't know if that was a blag what I told Rich or what, but I was overweight anyway.
Yeah.
I was 82.5 on the Monday, and I weighed in at bang on 70 on the Friday morning. Yeah. So it was hard. Graft.
Have you ever had it where you've turned up and like been overweight or anything like on the day?
Yeah, but I've always made weight in me
Have
a lot
you?
of time. Yeah.
I was wondering, like, I don't really know about Muay Thai. Like, say in boxing or something, like if you don't make the weight, like the other person will take like a percentage of your person.
Yeah, it's the same. Aye.
Does that still happen?
Yeah,
in Muay
yeah.
Thai? So, what's your kind of long-term goals? Would the end goal to be like going fighting in one or?
Yeah, everyone's after that one championship, but I'm just happy fighting. I just want to fight. Like, yeah, that's about it. Obviously, world titles, the WBC, one, everything like that. It's all out there and it's all amazing. Do you know what I mean? But
When we
it'll
spoke,
come.
when we spoke to Nathan Bendon, he was kind of saying that you know, if there was kind of a designated route to get to one, it would be good because you don't really know how to get there, do you? That's the thing,
no,
like,
I seen they've got that new stadium in Bangkok. They've made a road to one, haven't they?
Right.
Like the road to glory.
Yeah, I've heard of that. Yeah.
okay.
But obviously that's all the way in Thailand. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, they're trying to branch out, get new fighters and
That's what I was
stuff.
going to say. Like, would you think it'd be good if there was like a tournament or something?
I think it'd be mint. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
'cause
would
I
be.
know there's the road to glory, isn't there? With
Yeah, Dean Sugden on.
Yeah.
That's obviously gets you a contract on
Yeah,
there.
innit?
The thing is with one, like, the opportunity is just so big. Like, obviously Jacob Smith at his weight, he's been signed to one, and he at the last card, he was meant to fight on the same card as like Demetrius Johnson and Eddie Alvarez. Which is just like, for a Muay Thai guy, it's crazy, isn't it, for the UK.
Yeah.
Obviously, he got pulled because of like restrictions, but
Aye,
the opportunity is just so much greater than like.
it is and a half than round here.
The pays is a lot
Yeah,
better as
innit?
well, isn't it? Stuff like that.
Obviously, I heard now that because of like a lot of people were kind of exclusively signed to one now, but because of like the not being able to fight, they've been able to fight on these UK cards coming up.
I've seen the odd fighters. I don't know if it's the same across the board, but obviously, like I mentioned before about getting the number one spot dodgily, I'd like to fight Liam if he's out of contract, but if he's not, he's not. And
I think it's only right. One do that, if especially the UK fighters, if the travel restrictions
might be out for years. Yeah.
So that would be a good fight. Any promoter out there want to make it happen?
Yeah. Cheers.
Is there anyone that like that you've seen fight on one way you just have to watch them if they fight?
To be honest, I watch a lot of most of the one shows anyway.
Any favourite fighter on there, or someone you really like the style of? Or
I'd like him to sign Sexton.
yeah,
That'd be exciting.
Yeah,
innit? At my weight.
what's your views on like Rod Tang and and
Rod
division? It's
Now, Rod Tang's a favourite for his style and that, but I think Superlek will beat him. I got him down for a KO. Head kick KO. I'm just waiting for it to be on the bookies. Once one's in the bookies, that'd be all right.
I want to see Haggerty and Superlek again.
I watched that one at your cow when it was a couple of rounds are done. Starting to spice up on it.
I know,
It'd be a good fight.
I meant to ask you before when we were talking about kind of scoring in Thailand. When you were over there, did you take a lot from like how the scoring works and kind of implement it into your style?
Yeah, so with the lads in the gym and that are amateur, because everyone scores different, and in the UK it's different again. Do you know what I mean? So we play like we play a sparring game called 21.
Right.
So you're going up to 20. It's hard to count when you're both sparring. So you'd have like a kid half reffing it and counting, and then two of you sparring. So boxing's 1 point. Low kicks 1 point, a teep to the body or a body kicks 2 points, a knees 2 points, head kicks 3, and a sweep's 5, and you're playing to 21. Do you know what I mean? But if you stand in and you land jab, cross, hook, and they land a little boxing flurry, and it's a bit like you can't tell if it's clean or not, you just don't score it, or you'll give them 1 point or something, so it evens out a bit. Just to get them used to that body kick, but like obviously boxing still scores, so you can rack your points up, and then it's obviously a bit more fun in that as well.
Yeah. Good little system.
And then you get the lads that like short and stocky and that, like, pressure. Do you know what I mean? And you get them steaming in, getting the points, and then the other one's trying to stay on the outside, and it makes it a bit giddy. Do you know what I mean? It's nice. It's good.
So was it like, obviously you spent a long time in Thailand, and obviously fighting these domestic fights in the UK. Kind of repeating what Dan said earlier, does that then have an impact obviously on your strategy going into the fight? So will you fight the same way you fight in Thailand in the UK?
Yeah, probably. Like for
finishing strong, or some people describe it as almost like a marathon. Or,
like last exchange and stuff like that. All fights are pretty. As long as I've trained hard and I'm confident about anything, it'll be all right.
What do you think about it over here though? Because obviously in Thailand, the reason why kind of like the first 2 rounds aren't really scored is because they're kind of warming up and stuff. A lot of times they won't even hit pads before they fight. Whereas obviously over here it's like a lot different. You know what I mean?
I remember when I first come home, it's outrageous. I was watching lads do 5-3s before they went in the ring and had a fight. You know what I mean? I was thinking that's insane. But it's freezing. It's quite cold now, isn't it? It's nippy. But it's just that different. It's so completely different. Like I said before with the Thais, like they don't go to work. Do you know what I mean? They're not sat at home thinking, I got that council tax bill in the morning. Do you know what I mean? They're literally in the gym hitting pads and that, and they're fighting at the end of the month. Like that's their only concern. Like a lot of them, they don't even, like, they haven't got birds and that, you know what I mean? That's literally all they've got going round in their head when they're laid in bed on a night. That's it, the fight. Like, you'll never get on that you can't get on that level in the UK because you've got too much going on. It's impossible. And like, obviously a few do it big time, but
not many though.
Not many. Yeah,
there's only like 1 or 2 people who actually make a living just off
like
fighting.
Liam's the biggest name now in the UK, and he probably will be for ages, I reckon. Haggerty's getting up there with his fights on one, and his bit of explosive style and that. But
that's literally it, really.
That's about it, innit? It's hard, man. Yeah.
So when you came back from Thailand after that first time, and you went into like when you were fighting over in Thailand and you come over for an A-class fight, in like the first 2 rounds, were you like, you know, just trying to like take it easy, or were you just like, you know what I mean?
What, in England?
Yeah,
taking it easy.
Yeah.
I still do a bit. Yeah. I'm quite a slow starter. But it's alright. Like I said, if you've trained on that, you can weather a bit anyway, and then you can
you're
still
a
attack.
smart fighter. When I watched you on YouTube and stuff like that, I even watched you at MTGP against Ricky. So,
Yeah.
You know, it's good fight, good balance, you know, stuff like that. Not overly aggressive, but when you land a shot, you know, you go in and whatnot.
Like I said before about playing the game of 21. Like if we're stood and you went for a body kick and they leaned back, you'd get deducted a point.
Right.
Yeah, the one that missed the kick.
Right.
You know, so you're trying to make people flash as well. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Big catch and a sweep, they come back with a kick, a lean back, knock a point off. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So then you're getting that little bit of same again. It's mint. It's a good little game.
Yeah, definitely.
So what do you know about your opponent that you're fighting against on Victory then?
Just that he's a giant, just a tall kid. Yeah, that's
Alex McGregor.
Yeah, Alex. He's done a bit in Thailand, which
Scottish lad, isn't it?
Yeah, Scottish kid. Aye.
Scottish kid. Yeah, be a good fight.
He looks tall. He looks like he's a marcher, which is sound. That's about it.
How
to be
long has
honest.
this fight been in process for now? So how long?
What, the Victory
when
fight?
Did it get confirmed? Was it last?
It'll have been about a month ago, was it? Or maybe it was a bit longer.
Right. Okay. What's your plans then going into that fight? Anything?
I've just trained hard and strong. I don't know. A few heads have said that he's going to force the clinch and whatnot, but
You're looking at him, you'd assume that, wouldn't you? Like you said, he's a tall lad.
But in Thailand, they're very against all the watching on YouTube and game plans and that.
Right.
Because and like I've took lads down for fights the same, and we've been like, oh, this one his low kicks are too much. His low kicks are too much. We'll check everything. We go down. He doesn't even low kick. Didn't low kick 5 rounds. Do you know what I mean? And then what can you do? The heads fell off already thinking about it.
I've had it. I've prepared for certain things and thought I'm gonna counter it.
Yeah.
It's not come.
Stood like that waiting for it. Yeah.
And then
just landing all the time on you.
Yeah,
it's
good.
But obviously when you get the big level and that, people have got the go-to techniques and stuff. So it's everything's grey lines, and you don't know where you stand. But
how would you describe yourself as a fighter? Would you say you're more of a counter fighter?
Counter fighter. I'd be counter. I like me lean back. I like me few body kick exchange and that bit of clinch elbow and
got
that.
some good sweeps as well.
A
good few dumps. That's good.
What would you say has kind of been the biggest win that you've had, or your most satisfying win that you've had?
I fought Card Chuak at the King's Palace, over in Thailand, and I won. And I fought Singh Samut at 68 key, which is Subsequent's little brother.
Right.
Yeah. And that was the whenever you go into a big fight like that, I don't know why they do it, because it's quite dodgy really. They'll come down and they'll be like, oh, you're going to lose. Do you know what I mean? Oh, and they'll show you the odds and that on a bit of paper.
Who will show you that?
The gamblers.
Right.
And you just think, why? Do you know what I mean? Was there any need in that? Yeah. And then the few trainers that you with will usher them out and that and tell them to do one and whatnot. But it's just weird, isn't it? You can imagine if you'd done that over here, there'd be uproar, man. Yeah. There'd be uproar.
We've had people kind of say about, the scoring over here that, it's based off a Thai system where it's all about the betting. So why have we kind of brought that over here? What's your thought on that?
I don't know. I don't think Thai boxing scored the same here as it is in Thailand. No. Definitely not. Anywhere, any show, anything. And same again. It's that small of a community in England. Everything's a bit too cliquey for me. But obviously, I'm in it for the love. So,
like you said, sometimes you can have a referee or a judge who's a
Yeah,
coach in
yeah,
the gym.
yeah, and it's
you could have been down to that gym and sparred, and then before you know he's doing the scorecards. You know, I think that sometimes
it's very intermingled. Everything is it's that small of a community.
So I don't know if this is true, but I heard that in some stadiums in Thailand they kind of favour a different style. So one might favour like more kneeing, or is that?
In a fashion, it's the same in the UK. Like obviously I've been about it since I was a kid. Like all the a bit of UK circuit, and then I missed the growing up bit in the teenage one, which is why I'm out of touch with it all now. When I went to Thailand, so I've come back. Everyone's got the click and that, and it's a bit like which is sound, but. There's
like clinching and stuff like in a fight.
Yeah, like we took a kid down before, and they were like, "Oh, so and so's reffing. All you got to do is latch on, lift the knee. Don't put too much power into him. Just lift him up and touch him, and he'll score it." Yeah. So straight away we've gone from training like a maniac to punch heads in, to just standing like that. You know, what I mean? It's madness. Yeah, and you know that it's going to score. So like. You're happy to do it because obviously it's all about winning. Everyone wants to win, innit? Yeah,
definitely. Plus, if you're a young student and you really training your ass off, even like in the amount of the head contact and you want to hurt someone, you know, these kids out there who do, and they're losing fights for whatever little tappy knees.
It's madness.
It could, you know.
It's disheartening, isn't it?
And they're gonna think, I'm not doing this no more.
Yeah, it's very disheartening.
I trained hard, mum, dad. Coach having my pads every day. So
like we've got a lad in the gym. What was the weight at? The weight was at like 95 or something, and the kid turned up. There was a pull out day before, so we're like, oh, nightmare. But there's a kid here. He's like, he'll be within 5 kilogram. It's like 5 kilos. And then obviously like we're only young lads. Do you know what I mean? So like we're in the group of a lot of young lads, and I say, do you want to fight this kid? He's a little bit bigger. Like straight away, he can't really say no, which he could, but like he'd be a bit of a shit house and that, you know what I mean? So he was like, oh yeah, we'll fight him. Turned up weighing 13 key bigger. The kid hadn't even tried to cut weight, you know what I mean? Got stopped in the second round, and now he's disheartened. Do you know what I mean? So it's
I shouldn't even been able to go ahead.
It's madness, isn't it? Off it.
It's crazy. What's your kind of thoughts on the just talking about scoring again? Like, have you had many 3-round fights? What's your thoughts on like the?
I've only had a few 3-round fights.
It's good for the spectator, isn't it? Because it's a lot more high octane. And
it's to be honest, I quite like it. I'm into it. 3 or 5, it's sound. If you train hard for 5, it's the exact same as fighting 3 because you just do more and go harder for less. So it's the same. Do you know what I mean? Scoring's a little bit off, but if you're doing 3 rounds, like 9 times out of 10, it's in the 4-ounce gloves or it's card shark or do you know what I mean? So it's it's punch to kill. 3 rounds punch to kill. 5 rounds takers.
So after you've fought Alex McGregor, what the kind of be the goals for the rest of the year? You want to get any more fights in after that?
Well, I've heard that apparently you've got to have a world title fight on one.
Right.
So obviously I'll be hunting for a world title.
Right.
Any world title. I think that's the crack. I don't know what the crack is.
I think that's kind of where you market, isn't it? A lot.
That's it, isn't it? Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Like we're on about the UK and that. There's that many Mickey Mouse belts.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's it's outrageous. You couldn't make it up. Whereas in Thailand, like you'll get people saying, "Oh, he fought for the Bangla belt." The white lads fighting for the Bangla belt and that, even though you think it's a hoax and that, they're fighting the trainers that you pay thousands to fly and train with. Do you know what I mean? They're not bums. They're not taxi drivers. They might have been in the 90s. Do you know what I mean? They're not more. That's a myth.
It's true that about belts. Every gym we've been in, there's been like just shitloads of belts everywhere.
It's off it, man. They're everywhere. Yeah.
I think sometimes, obviously, the gyms have got could be a big selling point for them if they produce so many champions and whatnot. You know,
that's it, innit? There's a purpose for it, so you can't be too bitter. But it is what it is. Obviously, you get a load of kids down the town and that telling people they're 5 times this and then this. Do you know what I mean? But it's all right.
I remember someone saying to me, I can't remember who it was now, that they won a belt and like they never got offered to defend it or anything. It just kind of sat there in the gym because they like. It could have been Paul, you know.
Yeah, Paul won one.
Yeah.
Won the belt
and like they let him, like not let him win it, but they gave him a chance to win it. He won it and then never got offered a fight at that weight again. A lot of governing boards like that. They don't chase the because it's meant to be 3 defence and you keep it.
Right.
But they never ever chase it. No one ever chases that up.
Strange. So obviously, world title coming up hopefully sometime in the near future, and then.
Well, I think they've got us down as 11 now in the WBC World Rankings, and the same in the WMO.
Right.
So
who's above you that isn't Thai? Is anyone above you that isn't
there's a
Thai?
Brazilian kid in number 6.
Right.
Which would be a nice fight. He's good as well. I like his style. Watch him. He's smooth, man. He's good. So yeah, I'd like to fight him. That'd be a good.
That'd be good. Definitely.
Wicked. Have you got anyone you want to shout out, or any spot? Or you said before you haven't got any sponsor, but anyone you want to shout out before we?
Just obviously, I'd like to cement that number 1 spot and fight Liam. Just whenever the time's right for him.
Yeah.
And look out for his fight coming in a couple of weeks on Victory.
Yeah.
Get the pay-per-view.
You know.
Follow him on Instagram, stuff like that.
Yeah, cheers, man.
Thank you everyone for watching. Like, subscribe. See you again soon.